Excuse me, I'm the commentator. Do you have to have a list of events? Thank you so much. Testing, testing. Hello and welcome to the January 17th, 2025 West Hartford Hall and Avon Swim Meet. This is Lorenzo Genovese. This is being live streamed from West Hartford Community Interactive. We've got a total of 12 heats today, 12 events, my apologies, both swimming and diving included. Starting off with the 200-yard medley relay. Competing in lane 2 from Hall, Marcus Bitten, Charlie Rose, Jimmy Rose, Ryan Gaddy. In lane 4 from Hall, Cyrus Zhu, Yaron Kentrovich, Max Molinek, and Quinn O'Neill. Lane 5, Windsor, EJ Cummins, Bradley Cummins, Brett Benjulo, and Sammy Garcia. And in lane 6 from Hall, Noah Cruz, Noah Neff, Arseny Kravitz, and Ojes Bukade. And my mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this is Windsor at Hall. There is a discrepancy on my sheet, so my apologies for the slip up. And we have a first place finish for lane 4 with a time of 1:52.63. That is the Hall team of Cyrus, Yaron, Max, and Quinn. Second place going to lane 5. That's Windsor, EJ, Bradley, Brett, and Sammy. They have a time of 1:55.56. Congratulations to all of our competitors starting off strong. And we're going to be moving on to the 200-yard freestyle. And we have one heat in this event. 5 swimmers: Will Rickert of Hall, Tyrell Kimber of Windsor, lanes 2 and 3 respectively. Lane 4, represented by Hall, Jack Ackerman, Trevor King of Windsor in lane 5, and Brett LaFerge of Windsor in lane 7. Now the record for the 200-yard freestyle, not competing in this event, but was just in the 200-yard medley relay. Cyrus Zhu with a time of 1:43.91. It'll be interesting to see if any of his teammates or opponents can break that time. And we got a bit of a late start today, so I didn't get to give my usual full introduction. This is being live streamed through West Hartford Community Interactive. We live stream all of the Hall and Connard sports right on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. We are narrowing in on that record time as the competitors swim their last couple of laps. Will anybody be able to shatter Cyrus's record? And it's cutting it close. It does not seem as if that record is going to be broken, but it does seem as if the national, all right, 1:53.72. That is for Jack Ackerman of Hall in lane 4, grabbing first place. He did beat the Class L auto. That time was 1:58.99. And we've got second place. That's going to lane 2 with a time of 2:12.80. That is Will Ruckert. So Hall, their two competitors in this event, claiming first and second place. We have the 200-yard individual medley now. 5 swimmers. Lane 2, we've got Hall's Marcus Bitton, Bradley Cummins of Windsor in lane 3, Cyrus Zhu, who we just mentioned, holding the record for the 200-yard freestyle. He is competing in this one. Lane 4. We've got Brett Fangiulo of Windsor in lane 5, and Ender Melly of Windsor in lane 7. Individual medleys are some of the toughest events in the game. These swimmers are going to have to do multiple different techniques, working multiple different body parts, sometimes muscles that don't necessarily agree with each other in the same rotations. So this is difficult, and they've got to do it all on their own. It's a medley, an individual medley. So they do not have their teammates to rely on in this one. We are about halfway through this event. The Hall record was set by Carson Reisner in 2023 with a time of 1:57.29. I believe we are on the final 2 laps for Cyrus Zhu, who is in first place. Quite a comfortable margin, might I add. And he is really picking up of speed. He is not going to beat Carson Reisner's time, but he is going to take first place with a time of 2:05.86. So race for second place. It's looking like Brett Fangiulo is going to claim it with a time of 2:20.54. He does. Congratulations, Cyrus and Brett in third place. Almost a dead tie for third, but lane 3, Bradley Cummins taking it with a time of 2:26.27. Right behind him, lane 2 with a time of 2:27.04, Marcus Bitton. We do have 2 heats in this next event. We have a couple of 2-heaters in today's meet. This is the 50-yard freestyle pure sprint. In the first heat, Hall's Charlie Rose, lane 2, James Wong of Windsor in lane 3, Quinn O'Neill of Hall in lane 4, Sammy Garcia of Windsor in lane 5, Jimmy Rose of Hall in lane 6, Landon Schaefer, Windsor lane 7, and Noah Cruz of Hall in lane 8. Again, a record set by Carson Reisner in 2023, time of 21:93. The national average for this, 23:99. So they have an opportunity to shatter 2 very impressive times, but it is going to require a great amount of speed. A lot of intensity off the bat. Again, this is only 2 laps back and forth. They're closing in on that time. Is somebody going to pass it? And first place going to Quinn O'Neill of Hall, lane 4. Does not beat Reisner's record, but he does surpass the national average. 23:93. Finishing in second was lane 4, 24:54. That is Sammy Garcia. And in third, lane 2 with a time of 26:56 is Charlie Rose. We do have another heat. Again, 7 competitors. My apologies. Oh, there we go. Sorry, the first name was cut off on my sheet, but I found the competitor in another event. Donovan Ravenberg, the name that was cut off, is our lane 2 swimmer from Hall. Greg Morrison of Windsor in lane 3. Nick Rangel of Hall in lane 4, Liam Vallely of Windsor in lane 5, Caleb Guyan, Hall lane 6, Zane Salim, Windsor in lane 7, and Ojaz Upate in lane 8 from Hall. And this race is almost over. And we've got a first place finish from lane 3, 32:13. That is Greg Morrison of Windsor. Nick Rangel finishing right behind him with a time of 34:97 from Hall. And then third place going to lane 7, Zane Salem of Windsor. And just like that, we are off to diving. Comes quicker every meet. And we do have 6 divers today, 4 from Hall, 2 representing Windsor, Ryan Gaddy, Landon Schaefer, Max Nathan, Jude Hale, Quinn O'Neill, and Jason Borisowitz. All right, the judges' chairs are in position. The flag should be coming down at any moment. The lane should be, yep, there they go, taking the lanes away. So at last week's meet, I did count. Every diver has 6 dives. They have 6 opportunities to score as high as they can. The pressure really is on, but you wouldn't know it because these athletes show so much poise and confidence when they dive. All right, the lanes are clear. The divers are going to begin practicing in just a few moments. Here we go with some practice dives.
Welcome to diving. No flash photography, please. Silence your cell phones. And while the divers are on board, we need silence, please. The order for today: Jason from Hall is first, Landon from Windsor is second, Ryan from Hall is third, Jude from Windsor is fourth, Max from Hall is fifth, and Quinn from Hall is sixth. First dive, Jason, 5211A, back dive, 1/2 twist, straight, 1.8. The scores 3 1/2, 5, and 5.
3 1/2, 5, 5. Jason.
Landon first dive, 5221D, back 1 somersault, 1/2 twist, free, 1.7. Scores 5 4, 4 1/2.
5, 4, 4 1/2.
Ryan first dive, 5311A, back dive, 1/2 twist, straight, 1.8. The score is 3 4 1/2, and 4.
3, 4 1/2, 4. Ryan.
Jude first dive, 5221D, back 1 somersault, 1/2 twist, free, 8.7. Scores 4 4 1/2, and 5.
4, 4 1/2, 5.
Max's first dive, 5211A, back dive, 1/2 twist, straight, 1.8. Scores 4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2.
4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2. Max.
Quinn's first dive, 5211A, back dive, 1/2 twist, straight, 1.8. His score is 6, 6 and 1/2, and 6 and 1/2.
6 and 1/2, 6, 6 and 1/2. Quinn.
Starting round 2, Jason, 201A, half dive straight, 1.7. Scores are 3, 4, and 3.
3, 4, 3. Jason.
Landing second dive, 202A, half 1 somersault straight, 1.7. Scores 4 and 1/2, 5, 4.
4 and 1/2, 5, 4.
Flying second dive, 202A, half 1 somersault straight, 1.7. Scores 4 and 1/2, 5, and 4.
4 and 1/2, 5, 4. Ryan.
Dude second dive, 202A, half 1 somersault straight, 1.7. Scores 5, 5 and 1/2, 5.
5, 5 and 1/2, 5.
Max the second dive, 52, 21D, half 1 somersault, 1/2 twist, 3, 1.7. Scores 5, 4 and 1/2, and 5.
5, 4 and 1/2, 5. Max.
Good second dive, inward 1 and 1/2 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Scores 5 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, and 6 and 1/2.
5 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2, 6 and 1/2. Quinn.
Starting round 3, Jason, 202C, back 1 somersault tuck, 1.5. Scores 4, 3, and 4.
4, 3, 4. Jason.
Landing third dive, 203C, back, 1.5 somersaults, tuck, 2.0. Scores 4, 3, 1/2, and 4 1/2.
4, 3 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2. Landing.
Flying third dive, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Scores 4, 4 1/2, and 5.
4, 4 and 1/2, 5. Ryan.
201 day, back dive straight, 1.7. Scores 3 1/2, 4 1/2, and 5.
3 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2, 5. Jude.
Matches third dive, 403C, inward, 1.5 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Scores 4 1/2, 5, and 5.
4 and 1/2, 5, 5. Max.
Third dive, 203C, back, 1.5 somersaults, tuck, 0. Scores 3 1/2, 4, and 4.
3 and 1/2, 4, 4. Glenn.
Starting round 4, Jason, 401C, inward dive, tuck, 1.4. Scores are 4 1/2, 4 1/2, and 4 1/2.
4 and 1/2, bingo. Jason.
Landing fourth dive, 402C, inward, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6.
5.5, 5-5. Landed.
Ryan, 4 dive, 02C, reverse, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Scores, 3.5, 4.5, and 5.
3.5, 4.5, 5. Ryan.
Use 4 dive, 401C, 4 dive, tuck, 1.4. Scores, 5, 5, 5.5.
5-5, 5.5. Jude.
Max is 4 dive, 302C, reverse, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Scores are 5, 5.5, and 5.5.
5, 5.5, 5.5. Max.
4 dive, 102B, forward, 1.5 somersaults, height, 1.7. Scores, 4.5, 5, 7.5.
4.5, 5, 7.5. Quinn.
Starting round 5, Jason, 101C, forward dive, tuck, 1.2. Scores, 5, 4.5, and 4.5.
5, 4.5, 4.5. Jason.
Landon's 5th dive, 104C, forward, 2 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Scores, 4, 3.5, and 3.
4, 3.5, 3. Landon.
Ryan's 5th dive, 103B, forward, 1.5 somersaults, height, 1.7. Scores, 4.5, 5, 4.5.
4.5, 5, 4.5. Ryan.
Jude's 5th dive, 103C, forward, 1.5 somersaults, tuck, 1.6. Scores 4 1/2, 4 1/2, and 5.
4 1/2, 4 1/2, 5. Jude.
Matches fifth dive, 103B, forward, 1 1/2 somersaults, height, 1.7. Scores 4 1/2, 5 1/2, and 5.
4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5. Max.
Twins fifth dive, 104B, forward, 2 somersaults, height, 2.3. Scores are 6 1/2, 6, and 6 1/2.
6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2. Quinn.
Starting the final round of dives, Jason, 5111A, forward dive, 1/2 twist, straight, 1.8. Scores are 3 1/2, 3 1/2, and 3.
3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3. Jason.
Landon's final dive, 302C, reverse, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Scores 5 1/2, 4 1/2, and 5.
5 1/2, 4 1/2, 5. Landon.
Flying final dive, 104C, forward, 2 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Scores are 5, 6, and 5.
5 6 5. Ryan.
Two final dive, 302C, reverse, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Scores 5 1/2, 4 1/2, and 5.
5 1/2, 4 1/2, 5. Jude.
Max and final dive, 104C, forward, 2 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Scores are 4 1/2, 5, 4 1/2.
4 1/2, 5. 4 1/2.
Queen's final dive,
Max.
302C, reverse, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Score 6 1/2, 6 1/2, and 6 1/2.
6 1/2, bingo, Quinn. All right, and that wraps up diving. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes with the other 7 events, just to give you a preview of what's to come. 100-yard butterfly is going to be what we're returning with. 100-yard freestyle, 2 heats. 500-yard freestyle, 200-yard freestyle relay, 100-yard backstroke, 100-yard breaststroke, and we're going to be finishing off with the 400-yard freestyle relay. And the flags are going back up. The lanes are about to be, all right, there we go. The swimmers are jumping back into the pool for their warm-ups. They had to anticipate 5 minutes will be when we start resume our events. Again, we are going to be coming back with the 100-yard butterfly, followed by the 100-yard freestyle, 2 heats of the 100-yard freestyle, the 500-yard freestyle, 200-yard freestyle relay, the 100-yard backstroke, the 100-yard breaststroke, and we're going to be finishing off with the 400-yard freestyle relay. We've got competitors from Windsor warming up in the first couple of lanes right here in front of me, but we've got some hall swimmers at the end towards the lifeguard's chair. And again, just because I didn't have much of an opportunity to do a proper introduction, you are watching this live stream through West Hartford Community Interactive. We are a media center in West Hartford Town Hall. We live stream all of the fall, spring, and winter presently going on sports. Check us out on our YouTube page. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you don't miss any of the notifications we send out when there is a live stream underway. Hope everybody is having a great 2025. Hard to believe that we're already just past the halfway point of the month. Unbelievable. But we are going to be bringing you plenty of more winter sports in the coming weeks. January, February are chock full of exciting basketball, swimming, gymnastics, wrestling, and hockey. We've got some more hall swimmers in now, getting their practice reps in. And the warm-ups are coming to an end, which means we are about to get into the 100-yard butterfly. And I might have spoken too soon. A couple of stragglers still doing some warm-ups. here we go. We've got Max Valenik of Hall in lane 2. Sorry, once again, the names are cut off of my sheet. I believe this is Marcus Quaterio of Windsor in lane 3. Yaron Kantarovich of Hall in lane 4. Brett Fangiulo of Windsor in lane 5, and Ender Melli of Windsor in lane 7. This is a relatively shorter race, 100 yards. It is 4 laps back and forth. We're already at the halfway point. Once again, the Hall record was set by Carson Reisner. We've been seeing his name come up a lot in these record conversations. He set the time with 49:79, which is not going to be beat today, but lane 4's Yaron Kantarovich comes close with a time of 57:04, finishing in second. Lane 5 with a time of 1:02:20 is Brett Fangiulo. Max Valenik of lane 2, finishing third with a time of 1:04:18. And we've got the 100-yard freestyle next. Again, relatively shorter race. Speed is going to be a huge determining factor. 2 heats in this event. In the first heat, we've got Hall's Charlie Rose in lane 2, Tyrell Kimber of Windsor in lane 3, Hall's Jack Ackerman in lane 4, Windsor's Sammy Garcia in lane 5, Hall's Ryan Gaddy in lane 6, and Windsor's Brett LaFerge in lane 7. We're off 4 laps in this event. Once again, the record for Hall set by Carson Reisner with a time of 47:86. That record was set in 2023. And this race is about halfway over for our top group of swimmers. If they can keep up their pace or increase their speed, they have a shot of surpassing Carson's record. However, as you go on, your body only gets more tired, so you are depending on adrenaline to kick in. Lane 4, Sammy Garcia, my mistake. Jack Ackerman is in lane 4. Of Hall finishes with a time of 50:25, only a few short seconds away from that record. Second place going to lane 5 with a time of 57:86. That is Sammy Garcia. And then with a time of 59:02, lane 3's Tyrell Kimber. We do have one more heat. And competing in this heat, Hall's Arsenio Kravitz in lane 2, Greg Morrison of Windsor in lane 3, Nick Rangel of Hall in lane 4, Liam Valile of Windsor in lane 5, Caleb Nguyen of Hall in lane 6, and Zane Silling of Windsor in lane 7. We are about halfway through. It's looking like lanes 4 and 5 are fighting for first place. That is Nick Rangel and Liam Valile. It's pretty tight between them. Nick Rangel is taking a slight lead. And Arsenio Kravitz actually pulling ahead lane 2, coming out of seemingly nowhere. First place victory for Arsenio Kravitz, lane 2 with a time of 1:16.27. Lane 3 snagging second. That is Greg Morrison. And that time was 1:19.45. And lane 4 finishing third, 1:20.32. That is Nick Rangel. All right, now we have the monstrous 500-yard freestyle. 20 laps, back and forth. It is a challenging, to say the very least, event. We've got 4 swimmers competing in the 500-yard freestyle today. Noah Neff of Hall in lane 2. Elijah Eugene of Windsor in lane 3. Will Ruckert, my apologies, of Hall in lane 5. And James Wong of Windsor. Sorry, Will Ruckert is in lane 4. James Wong is in lane 5. 4 swimmers. We've seen a couple of these athletes in previous events. Having competed before is really going to make this event significantly more trying. We are off. We do have a couple of swimmers in this event who are competing for the first time. You have to wonder if that period of rest is going to be an advantage to them, or if the other swimmers, having already, no pun intended, gotten their feet wet today, built up a tolerance. Right now, it's looking like the latter is the case, because Will Ruckert, who did compete in a couple of different events earlier today, is in first place going into the 1/5 percentile of this 1/5 point, I should say, 20th percentile mark of this event. And for Will Ruckert, this race is a quarter of the way done. He's got a solid lead over the competition. It's looking like James Wong and Elijah Eugene fighting for second. Noah Neff not at all far behind them. As a matter of fact, it's looking like he might be surpassing Elijah. And Will Ruckert about to complete his 8th lap. He's got 2 more and he's at the halfway point. Going into Will Ruckert's 11th lap. and the other competitor's 9th. The distance that Will has kept from the other competitors is about the same. Noah, Elijah, and James all still dead competing for second. This far into the race, there usually is a clear leaderboard. I am amazed that these competitors have been able to hang pretty much with each other this far in. It is looking, again, I'm speaking too soon, like James Wong is finally pulling ahead of Elijah and Noah. That fatigue is coming in. The swimmers know they have to keep going. Quit is not in their vocabularies. And Will Rucker is now furthering the distance between him and the other competitors. He is on his 16th lap. The other competitors are on their 12th. So he has now doubled the lead that he had only a few laps ago. And he's got 4 laps to go. The other competitors have 8. Sorry, doing math in my head right now. Even basic math is a bit of a challenge. All right, and we are on Will Rucker's final 2 laps. He unfortunately will not beat the record, which was set 12 years ago by Jake DeBella, who finished with a time of 4:39.69. But he is nevertheless going to set a fantastic finishing time. And that time is 5:57.66. Congratulations, Jake. All other competitors, I believe, are on their 16th lap. Yes. I had to look at one of the teammates' boards to confirm. All right, so 4 more laps to go. The lead for second that James Wong once had has now reverted to a 3-way tie. James Wong is still ahead, but he is losing that comfortable second place spot he once held. He is picking up a little bit of speed. I think he realized how close his competition was. Elijah and Noah competing for third. Noah has a slight edge. James Wong has now completely turboed ahead. He's got 2 laps left. And he will finish second. And 1 lap left for James. Noah pulling ahead of Elijah for that 3rd place spot, but there is still time for Elijah to surpass him. Elijah pulling ahead of Noah. Happy last. And Elijah finishing in third, 8:08.86. And congratulations to all of our competitors for yet another fantastic showing. We're going to be moving on to the 200-yard freestyle relay. We've got in Heat 2, Charlie Rose, Ryan Gaddy, Jimmy Rose, Will Rucker. Lane 3, Windsor's Liam Valile, Greg Morrison, Zane Salim, and Brett LaFerge. Hall in lane 4, Yaron Kantorovich, my apologies, Glenn O'Neill, Max Valenik, Jake Ackerman. Windsor's Bradley Cummins, Tyrell Kimber, Brett Fangiulo, and Sammy Garcia in lane 5, and Nick Rangel, Jason Borisowitz, Caleb Guyan, and Donovan Ravenberg in lane 6. 200 yards, 4 competitors for every team. That means every swimmer has to do 2 laps. Lanes 4 and 5 with their third swimmer coming in. Lane 4, a Hall team, slightly ahead. But there is still 100 yards in this race, and anything can happen in the meantime. And the final swimmer for lane 4 has joined the fray. And lane 4 going to finishing first with a time of 1:36.16. Lane 2 catching up considerably towards the end. That is a Windsor team, or lane 5 rather, with a time of 1:40.44. Lane 2 finishing 1:52.65. Again, a Hall team. And we have 3 more events today. The 100-yard backstroke is on deck. We've got 5 swimmers. Marcus Bitton from Hall in lane 2. Trevor King of Windsor in lane 3. Cyrus Zhu of Hall in lane 4. EJ Cummins of Windsor in lane 5. And Noah Cruz of Hall in lane 6. So these next 2 events, the 100-yard backstroke and breaststroke, respectively, shorter events, 100 yards, that is 4 laps back and forth. However, the techniques they have to do to complete these events are considerably harder, and that does tend to hinder speed a little bit. Cyrus Zhu looking for another first place victory. He is about halfway through with this race. The record for Hall, 50 seconds in 2023. Once again, Carson Raisner. Cyrus Zoo is not going to beat that time, but he is going to come very, very close. He is going to beat the Class L Auto by 7 seconds. He finishes 55.63. Congratulations, Cyrus. Second place is going to go to Marcus Bitten of lane. All right, well, there seems to be a discrepancy on the scoreboard. Lane 2 did finish before lane 5. There are occasionally technical difficulties on the scoreboard's end, so my apologies for that. We have the 100-yard backstroke coming up. We've got Jimmy Rose from Hall in lane 2. Got all right, once again, my apologies. The margins of these sheets sometimes are not helpful. I believe this is Marcus Quaterio, lane 3 from Windsor. Yaron Kantarovich of Hall in lane 4. Bradley Cummins of Windsor in lane 5. Arsenio Kravitz of Hall in lane 6. And Elijah Eugene of Windsor in lane 7. We are off. Again, only 100 yards in this race. However, it's breaststroke. Breaststroke is excruciatingly tiring on the body and all of the muscles. Yaron Kantarovich of Hall, starting off strong. He's got 2 more laps to go. If he can keep this momentum up, he will take a first place finish. The record for Hall was set in 2021 by Kobe Dominguez. Hard to believe that was 4 years ago now. And he set that record with a time of 59.94. Yaron is going to finish in first with a time of 1:11:20. And second place, Bradley Cummins, 1:18:76. It's a race for third. Looking like it's going to go to lane 2. That is Jimmy Rose, finishing 1:31:40. Our final event of the meet, the 400-yard freestyle relay. We've got 4 teams in lane 3, Zane Salem, Greg Morrison, Trevor King, and James Wong. Lane 4, we've currently got Jack Ackerman. Windsor, Lane 5, Ender Melly, and Hall Will Rucker. In Lane 6, our second group of swimmers is coming in. Trevor King, Max Volinick, Brett LaFerge, and Noah Neff, respectively 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we've got our second group of swimmers coming in. My apologies, I'm a little bit ahead of the game. So the full teams: Windsor, Lane 3, Zane Salem, Trevor King, Greg Morrison, and James Long. Hall in Lane 4, Jack Ackerman, Max Volinick, Cyrus Zhu, and Marcus Bitten. Windsor, Lane 5, Ender Melly, Brett LaFerge, EJ Cummins, and Tyrell Kimber. And Hall in Lane 6, Will Rucker, Noah Neff, Ojis Upade, and Noah Cruz. Long race, 400 laps. Each swimmer is going to have to do 100 laps on their own, but the good thing about this race is they get to depend on their teammates. They are not having to haul all 16 laps by themselves. Nearing the end of this race. The Hall record set in 2023. Carson Reisner, Jay O'Neill, C. Morton, my apologies, there are only abbreviations for the first names, and Cyrus Zhu, who competed in this event. Looking like Lane 4's race has come to an end, finishing first with a time of 3:41.47. That is Jack Ackerman, Cyrus Zhu, Max Volinick, and Marcus Bitten of Hall. Lane 5. Has 2 laps to go. For everybody else, just one. And it's looking like Lane 3 is going to grab second. My apologies. They have all right, Lane 5. Finishing in second with a time of 4:36.09. My apologies. That is Ender Melly, EJ Cummings, Brett LaFerge, and Tyrell Kimber of Windsor. Lane 3 is going to grab third place. My apologies on that mix-up earlier. That is Zane Salem, Greg Morrison, Trevor King, and James Long. They're going to finish with a time of 5:07.28. Lane 6 going to finish with a time of 5:15.45. And that concludes the January 17th, 2025 Windsor v. Hall swim meet. The swimmers are exiting the pools. They're going to be heading to their respective got our Windsor athletes over here having a post-meet conference. Our Hall athletes are a bit scattered right now. We do have our Hall athletes gathered in their corner. We will show them in just a second. We've got a cheer from our Windsor group. And here is Hall meeting with their coaches. There is that cheer we've been waiting for. And the swimmers are now going to be lining up to shake hands, congratulate each other on a fantastic